All right, hello and welcome to Swing It and Ding It, an iHeartMedia podcast. Man, this is a birdie fest.
It's a Philly show, baby.
Let's go.
Welcome into Swing It and Ding It, episode number 265, brought to you by our friends over at buymyballs.com and also at Bet Parks, where we're going to eventually see the line for the big Arnold Palmer Invitational coming up this week at Bay Hill. But I'm Harry Mays, of course. She's Danielle Matthews. We got no Moose tonight. He's down for the count. He was on the range getting ready to head to the first tee and pulled something in his back. So he is unable to go tonight. So we're going to soldier on without him. But I think he's still getting over our tremendous trip down to West Palm, Jupiter, and Tequesta. I think he just, I don't know. He can't hang, man. He's just, 4 rounds in 3 days was too much for him, Danielle.
We haven't even got a chance to recap that visit, but it was amazing to see you have the band back together. All of us, see each other, be over at Old Palm, have James on the pod there is awesome. So. Too bad Moose can't hang, but we're here. And I see you repping Old Palm now. You got the Old Palm?
Yeah, I got the Old Palm hat on. But we got Steve Marino with us, who we ran into down in Tequesta at Tequesta Country Club. And
that's how this happened. Okay.
Yes, there's so much to talk about with Steve because he is a PGA Tour veteran. I mean, how many over 300 starts, 200 starts, and 14 major championships, I believe you played in, Steve, right?
Yes, yeah, I had a nice little career, did it for a little bit, and was blessed to be able to do it. Enjoyed every part of it.
Yeah, and I see you got your Virginia Cavaliers hoodie on, a stud at the University of Virginia golf. So we could talk about that. But man, first I gotta say the last time we ran into you was at Locals, which is a local hangout in Tequesta. But we also saw you on the golf course cruising around in a golf cart with your dog, which I believe is named Bear.
Bear.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. My dad, that is my dog. His name is Bear. He's right here.
Yeah,
right.
make a cameo.
Yeah,
what a good boy.
Yeah, he's chilling right now. He's chilling.
Bear he looked chill in that golf cart too, man.
Yeah, Bear's the man. He's awesome. So I take him out there when I play golf, and he loves it. He sits in the cart and get him hot dog at the halfway house, and you drive by there and like he looks at it, he's like, you know what I mean, like he knows, and I'm like, no, we're not stopping there yet, but like you gotta wait a couple more holes. So he's a great dog. I love him to death.
Very cool. And I'll tell you that club is a very cool vibe. As soon as I pulled in there, I'm like, this is a place I could just pull up and hang for days.
It really is, man. It's a special little place. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. Like you would never think that there would be a club in this little neighborhood that is that sick. Like I actually just came from there. I had dinner there tonight. It's unbelievable. I take my golf cart over there. It's like fantasy land. It's a special place.
Yeah. Well, we were there with Wes Patterson. I don't know if they're going to invite us back, but we had a hell.
Oh yeah, Wes. If you were with Wes, you're out, man.
You may not get the invite back. I'll bring you back with the papalas.
Yeah. There you go. Come with them, and you're all good.
Yeah, come with me and them, and you're fine.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your golf journey, man. Because I mean, obviously, you got into the golf at the age of 3, I believe, is when you first started swinging a cut-down golf club. Let's start there and just work right through UVA and turning pro, man.
Wow. Okay. So, yeah, I think my grandfather was in town. I was 3 years old, and he cut me down and made me like a little golf club, like a 5-iron or something like that. And like I was kind of a rambunctious kid. Like I love sports. Like I was always having to do something and, watch golf on TV, and my dad liked golf. So, I would just go in the backyard and swing the club and hit golf balls and, got decent at it. But one day I got in big trouble. I was like 4, maybe 5. I don't know. Like I was hitting like real golf balls in the backyard and just roasted one like right through the window of the house. And they took away that club from me for a little bit. But that's kind of where like my love for the game started. I played a bunch of other sports growing up too, but I just for some reason like, took to it and really loved it.
Love for the game came from you putting one through the window. Getting
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I got in trouble with that. So I knew I had to be more accurate. I could be hitting them through the house.
incredible. And that was at age 3. And then take us through maybe some junior golf into collegiate career.
Yeah. I played like other sports. Like I was decent at basketball and baseball, like Little League and Babe Ruth I played. And then I was pretty good at golf, but kind of when I turned 15 and I went to high school and like dudes started to become like men, like all of a sudden I wasn't that good of a basketball player anymore. And I wasn't, that good of a baseball player anymore. I just still had the hand-eye coordination. So I quit playing those like after my freshman year of high school and just started playing golf. And, just gradually got better at it, over time, started winning some junior tournaments, and then was offered a scholarship to go play at University of Virginia. Wahoo Wah. They win that tournament today, by the way.
The one down in South Carolina?
And no, it's Southern Highlands. They were playing, I think, out in Vegas.
I don't know.
All right. Hey, we look that up. See if Virginia won that tournament.
Powers, get on that.
Yeah. Anyway, they were winning big time tournament, but
we had Denny McCarthy on a couple of weeks ago.
Oh hell yeah, Denny! Yeah, Denny's my boy. You talk about a hooper, bro.
I was gonna say you and Denny.
Yeah, no, Denny can shoot it. Denny can shoot it. They won. Hey, by the way, they did win that tournament.
Oh, awesome!
Southern Highland, like big time event, like all the best teams were there, so they're killing it, man. Like they're number 1 in the country, and
that's awesome.
Ben James is the number 1 player, but anyway, I went there, was like decent, it was pretty good. But I just kept getting better and better. And then, when I finished, I was playing with guys like Lucas Glover, Jonathan Bird, Carl Peterson, Tim Clark, like some real good dudes. And in the end, like I'm like, man, I don't think these guys are, that much better than me. So it gave me the confidence to like realize I wanted to turn pro and give it a go. And, eventually everything worked out.
Well, you had a couple of close calls in playoffs, I believe, at Crown Plaza down at Colonial in 2009.
Yeah.
You got to be a ball striker to make a playoff at that place, right?
Well, I mean, that week I was hitting it really good. I was hitting driver on all those holes where everybody's like,
oh, wow,
not hitting driver. I was just hitting it on the string off the tee that week. And, unfortunately, it didn't work out in my favor, but I will always have fond memories of that event because my mother is from Fort Worth and she grew up like right there, right off the course. So she had like her whole like high school people there, like, and they had shirts of me. And it was kind of crazy. I was like, man, what is this? But like there was like 50 of them out there in these purple shirts. And so that was a special moment actually for me and my family that week. It didn't work out obviously, but it was pretty cool.
That's incredible. But Harry was talking a little bit about like your career stats. So when people look at your career stat line, what do they get completely wrong about it?
I have no idea. I've never looked at my career stat line, to be 100% honest with you.
Well, a ton of runner-up finishes, like
a lot. Yeah, I never won a tournament. I know it's like a stick
but how
in my
many?
craw,
How many
like,
second place? Like
a lot. Like quite a few. Yeah, I was knocking on the door. I was bridesmaid a lot. It's really like the only like negative memory I had about my PGA Tour career was that I was there so many times. Like I played a lot of good golf, and I had won at every level that I'd played at up till there. And for some reason or another, like. I was not able to win tournaments. And I had a couple like a couple ones that were tough to take, like DA points at Pebble Beach. Like I lost to him and I came back to my house that I was renting. I watched the highlights. I wanted to vomit. But yeah, other than not winning, it was awesome being out there.
Well, like speaking of that, like were you watching this past weekend when Shane Lowry collapsed on the final couple of holes? Like, were you watching that?
Of course I was. Of course,
Now,
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I mean, what is it like to watch that as a guy who played on tour for so many years? I mean, it's got to be so different than when a guy like I watch it. You know, like what's going through your mind when you're watching him just come undone?
I mean, it was shocking. Like, if you think about it, he got on that run, he chipped in for birdie on 9 and then eagled 10. And then like you could see like he was like all of a sudden like chest was out. Like he was like kind of, I was like, man, this is our guy right here. Like this is our guy. You know, he's definitely doing it. There was no sign whatsoever that something like that was gonna end up happening. And I think that's what made it most shocking. Like,
Yeah.
you know, he had it, man. And it's Shane Lowry. It's the dude that, you know, put the final nail in the coffin at the Ryder Cup for the Americans, just sealed it, you know?
Yeah. He's won an Open Championship, you know?
I mean, Open Champion, but the weird thing is he hadn't won an individual event since that Open Championship. And of all the people, like, first of all, you don't expect anybody on tour to have something like that happen to him. We all know it's golf and stuff can happen, but he's the last person on earth, man. I was like, man, he's cruising in for that. And it was, I felt bad for him, man. Like, that sucks when something like that happens to you. You know what I mean? And it was kind of like it happened and he like didn't know what to do after that shot on 16. You know what I mean?
He just looked deflated. And like he said, the worst part was he just wanted to win in front of his daughter. And his daughter flew in. It's tough.
Hey, so props to Shane. Like, shout out to Shane for doing that presser right after that finish. Like, I was kind of surprised he did. He did. Well, Shane did. Like, Shane did. And like, people don't know like how like, there's no way in hell he wanted, like, that was the last thing on earth he wanted to do was go do that. And he stood up there like a man and answered the questions. And I think some guy got snippy with something and he put him in his place, but he did it and he was gracious. And you could just kind of see like on the inside, like he was devastated. But I was actually like really impressed that he did that. That just, you know, shows the kind of champion that he is in defeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Great character for sure. Well, we were just talking about the Cognizant. I feel like I always call it the Honda, but let's rewind back to your tour days. Give me a good story, maybe about a Jupiter local, maybe a Danielle Berger or something like that. Do we have a story about that?
I got bug stories. I've known Daniel since he was like 13 years old. I used to play a lot of my golf at the Dye Preserve. My early years on tour, and there's this kid that was always out there. Like, he's picking the range. He's this little gangly dude. Like, he's starting to go through puberty. Like, he's real awkward. And he's always out there. He's picking the range. He's practicing. So, you know, I took a liking to him. Like, I liked him, you know. And then he's starting to get bigger and he's becoming a good player. He was like probably like 15 and he would talk shit to me. He's like, Steve, you're so fat. Like, I can beat you at golf. Like, you're not good at golf. Like, such an annoying little kid. You know what I mean? I'm like, whatever, bro. Actually, one day, so he took like $100 from me off the putting green. And then right afterwards, he's like, I'll bet you $500. Like, and I paid him the 100, by the way.
Right.
And then 2 minutes later, he's like, I'm gonna play 9 holes with you. I'll bet you $500 I beat you. And I'm like, fine, Daniel. I'm like, okay, like, fine. So we go out there and obviously it doesn't go his way. Well, he dips on me with some smart ass remarks, how he's not gonna pay me and F me and whatever. He's gone. So I mean, this dude was barking up the wrong tree, man. Like, you know, I'm coming back at you for that. So I see him out there like a couple days later and his bag's on the golf cart and I go to the golf cart. And this is the days of like when they had an iPod touch. Y'all remember that? Like that thing. It was not a phone, but it was like you could do the internet and I don't know. So that thing's in his cart. So I gank that thing. I take it and I go home, and it's like 8 o'clock at night, and I'm on this iPod Touch. There was no password protected things back in the day. So I'm all up in there. And so I'm on his Facebook, and I'm like scrolling through like these people, and I'm looking up like these girls from his high school that whatever. And so I call him. I'm like, yo, who's Lindsay Henderson, bro? And he's like, you have my thing. And I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, yeah, I'll give it back to you when you pay me my $500. To make a long story short, I made threats of messaging like high school girls on Facebook as him. Never went through with it, but I put the fear of God in. And he never paid me. And when he got on tour, when he came back from the West Coast swing, he came over to my house and he gave me $500 and he said, "Here, Steve, stop telling people that story." And I still have that iPod Touch to this day. I never gave it back to him.
That's awesome.
That's
And you're
amazing.
still friends.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, he lives right down the street from me. That's one of my boys. But he was a little cocky little junior kid, man. That you gotta listen, man. This is how the real world works. Pay up.
Right. Right.
That's incredible.
That's awesome. Well, now your last tour event, I believe, was in 2019. Do I have that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And now you're mid 40s. You're looking at some other opportunities, even some broadcasting. I saw you on the Golf Channel a couple of weeks ago, and I was very impressed watching that. I'm like, oh, that's Steve Marino. He must be doing
Harry's
a tryout.
big critic.
Yeah. Tell us about that. How'd that get started, and how are you doing?
Well, I appreciate the fact that you think I'm decent at it. I met some people. I worked the Golf Channel games. Like, shout out to Mark Loomis. He's actually doing production for Live Golf right now. He's working a new gig, but he was kind of, one of the creators, if you will, of those Golf Channel games things. And he's a member at Medalist. And he asked me in the summer one day to go out there, and he said he had an idea. They're going to do something. And I went out there with him, and then I went out there with him a month or so later. And all of a sudden, it's like the day before the event, and we were like stand-ins. Like, I was Rory McIlroy, Brett Quigley was Scotty Scheffler. Like, we had stand-ins. There was 8 of us. So we went through the whole thing for production because it was going to be live on TV. And we had a great time, and then worked the games on Wednesday. And then somebody reached out from the Golf Channel to me and asked me if I was interested in coming up to work, and I said, sure, let's do it. So
yeah,
that's kind of how it happened.
So they just put you on the desk there and put the earbuds
kinda
in, and just
like,
said,
kinda
go.
like kinda. I mean, I was like, what? Like, you show up on the first day, there's an 11:30 production meeting, and then you're going live on air at 1:30, and they're speaking a language which I've never heard that before in the production meeting.
Right.
Talking about like 100s and 200s. I'm like, what? And then you get the thing in your ear and the people talking to you, but it was a rush. Like, I was real nervous about it, and it was kind of like a challenge for me to kind of overcome like the being nervous or whatever. And it was cool, and I enjoy it. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Golf Channel, for giving me that opportunity.
Well, hopefully
any more of that upcoming?
Yeah.
I'll be up there like in, I think, May. I'm not working till May. I think May is the next time I'm scheduled to work. So
now, what do you do
for
for that?
the PGA?
Like, are you like real, like, do you prep? Are you researching, or do you like to just use like your knowledge and kind of like, off the cuff?
Well, it's kind of a combination of all three. Like, for when Shane, blew it at the last event, we were all prepared. Like, I had stuff on Shane. I wanted to talk about Shane. And all of a sudden, like, 15 minutes before we go live on air, it gets, turned upside down. And,
let me find some stuff on Nico.
And so, but it was kind of cool. Like, we had to ad lib the kind of the thing, because all the prep we did was all for naught. And I think it went great. Like, it was kind of a challenge for me to, be like, all right, like, just, we're going to do it. Like, and we'll see what happens. And I think it went all right. So, it was cool.
Well, the winner, Nico's been on this program too, just a
Oh
couple of months
yeah.
ago. Oh
How
yeah,
about
yeah.
how about Nico, man?
How
Like how
about
about
him,
Yeah,
man?
what a
how about
stretch, huh?
he was on that 17th tee. He's like, he wasn't even thinking about winning that tournament. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's like, man, I'm
They
just trying to
dumped it in the water.
get it in and get it in second. And
yeah,
then all of a sudden, like that was crazy. That was like, and you know what? Like he took advantage of it and walked right through that opening of that door, and like,
yeah,
good for him, man. Like that was cool. Like I wish some people would have dumped it like that when I was in contention. Maybe I would have
Right.
won one, but you know, like,
yeah.
uh,
Well, he's
it
trying
was
to hit it
crazy.
20, 25 feet left of that flag and pushed it and
Oh
barely
man,
made it over the hazard.
however, he did push it, but he flushed it because it wouldn't have
Yeah,
made it had he not.
yeah,
So, I mean, was it the shot he was looking for? No, it was probably, 30 feet right of where he was looking.
yeah,
Yeah,
But
his face so
at the
happy.
same time, like he's got to move on, and like he was there and he was like, oh shit, like I can make this 15 footer for birdie,
yeah.
like 10 footer or whatever. And he did, you know what I
Right.
mean? So
Yeah.
credit to him for doing that. Like golf's not like you don't hit every shot perfect. You know what I mean?
No,
Right.
He was just sometimes you hit them like pretty good, but they're a little offline and they're fraught with danger when you're watching it in the air. I mean, I can't imagine like what was going through his mind when he was watching that thing fly, like slicing over there towards the water. He's like,
Yeah.
oh God.
I
He's like,
know.
oh no, dude. Like, oh
right.
no.
Find some
And then
ground.
it ends up perfect. And he makes the putt and he wins the tournament.
Yeah, and when
That's
he made
golf.
that putt,
Golf's
he
nuts, man.
he
It is
gave
all about timing.
like a little Sevy almost.
Yo,
That looked like
he
Sevy.
was like
Yeah,
Sevy-esque, man. Like I actually thought the same thing. I was like, man, he's
yeah.
got a little flair to him, man. That was
I
cool.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. And Shane's back on the tee watching this whole thing after just making double on 16.
I mean, you talk about kicking somebody when they're down. I mean, I can't
Yeah.
like you talk about like the difference in emotion, like
Emotions,
high
like
and low. Like,
wanting to throw up.
Nico was like in the middle, and then all of a sudden he went like through the roof, and Shane was through the roof to the basement. Like all of a
Right.
sudden, like it was
Lying on the
crazy to
ground.
watch. Like that doesn't happen a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Well, Harry and Moose were just down here last week. They got a little, introduction to the Palm Beach area. But rumor is it you kind of were one of the first on tour. You were here before Tiger, right? Do you feel like you kind of made a statement here for pro golfers and, said like, this is a spot? Should we be mad at you that there's so many of them here?
Well, listen, it's grown a lot since I
So
moved
much.
here. Like there were some people that were here before me. You cannot leave out Jesper Parnevik, classic
Oh,
Jesper. Like
Jesper. Yeah, on the water. His first house.
He was an OG here. Richard Johnson, Cal
Swedes.
Cavecchia, a couple other guys, Will McKenzie, my boy Willie Mack, Camilo moved down here before me.
Vijayas,
Moved to
yeah.
that area, but I had lived down here. I just came into some money because I was playing good golf, and I was like, man, I'm gonna buy a house on the water. And I didn't even know that this area existed up here in Tequesta where I live. It is so epic. Like
It's awesome.
I ended up buying. Oh, it's like super low key. It's off the beaten path. Like I should stop talking about it so people stop coming.
Yeah. It's terrible
So
here.
that
It's awful.
it sucks, dude. No one
awful.
moved.
There are no homes available.
Yeah, there's
nothing.
nothing. It's
Disregard
awful.
everything I just said. about that,
Traffic,
so.
it's just stay away, stay away. Well, have you ever made it up to the Philadelphia region?
I have.
You have. All right. So I never let anybody leave the podcast without asking my signature question. So we appreciate the time. We've already taken up a few, but before you go, I need to know what is the best Philadelphia course that you've ever played? And we do consider PV Philadelphia.
Never played PV. And really, to be honest with you, the only other course I played in Philly area is Aronimink.
Oh,
I played the
Great
US
course.
junior. I played the US junior there in 2017, made match play and got absolutely boat raced by Lucas Glover in the round of 32.
wow.
Beat me 5-4. And then they had that Tigers tournament or the AT&T or I forgot what it was called that one year when they were away from Congressional.
Yeah.
And played there, and it was awesome. I actually shot like 62, I think, in the third round there.
Wow.
Not bad.
And then, shot like 72 on Sunday, probably. I mean, but it was an awesome track, and it was a really cool place. So I have like kind of special memories of that place, you know.
Love
I
it.
think your first start on tour was in Pennsylvania, but southwestern Pennsylvania, out towards Pittsburgh,
Yeah,
at that
that's not
84 Lumber
Philly, but
Classic.
that's
No,
like
Yeah,
two
no.
different worlds.
It's like 5.5
totally
hours
is. You're
west.
right.
Yeah,
You're right.
Yeah,
there's
I
no
mean that's like
association.
Steelers and
Steelers
Eagles,
Nation
man.
versus
Exactly.
Birds. Yeah.
Like,
I
I
know.
mean, it's
At
like
least
two,
you
like
know.
it's not even like the same species. You know what I mean?
It's like when someone comes to Florida, like my girlfriends will come, they're like, I'm in Florida. I'm like, yeah, where? Because like Florida's like a country, basically. They're like,
it
I'm in
is.
Tampa. I'm like, you're 3.5 hours away from me. Like,
Yeah.
you know, doesn't work. Same thing with Philly. But we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate
This
you
is
hanging
great.
with these guys the other day. Thanks so much.
Yeah. No worries. Thanks for having me. Best of luck to you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
best
you
of luck
too.
in
We'll
the
be looking for you on
broadcast.
TV coming
Are
up.
you going to be
All right.
trying to get your game together when you're 50 at the Champions Tour? Is that something
love
on the
to see
horizon?
that.
Maybe, man, I still play a little bit, you know,
Yeah.
and you know, nothing really to play for right now, but I'm trying to stay somewhat sharp for,
Limbo,
you know,
yeah.
if I have the
Yeah.
urge, like, you know, I'll be
How old
ready
are you
to
right
like,
now? How many years till
I'm about to
eligibility?
turn 46 like soon.
Okay.
You have 4 years to
So,
prep.
There you
yeah.
go.
Start doing some,
Yeah.
All right,
I-
Steve. Well, best of luck till then. Hopefully some more broadcasting we'll get to see on Golf Channel. Maybe we'll see you at Aronimink for the PGA. Who knows? Maybe you might be covering that for them. And all the best, man.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
There he is.
All right,
Steve
bye.
Marino. Man, it's just a really good dude, man. I just knew that he would be, you know, a really good guest when we saw him at Tequesta just rolling around with Bear in the cart. It was so cool. And that place is such a cool vibe. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back. And we're going to do some tea when we come back and break down the Cognizant Classic. All right, welcome back into Swing It and Ding It. Much thanks again to Steve Marino for jumping on, taking some time. And, you know, hopefully he can keep the game together for a couple more years and get out there. He'd be a lot of fun on that Champions Tour, man.
Oh yeah, he'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 years to prep it and dial it in. We're rooting for him. I'd love to see him out there. Alternatively, might see him on some broadcasts.
Yeah, that would be cool too. All right, D, we got to spill some tea. What do you got for us this week? Yeah,
let's try to make it spicy. So Club Pro guy, he was around. You know, everyone was kind of following him. He started fading out a little bit, but he just announced that he has launched an official casting call. He's looking for a new pro to step into a salary position with equity. And he's saying it's not just a gig, it's the head pro life. But he made it very clear he doesn't want a replica. CPG, nobody can be CPG. So he wants someone that's original, can live under the brand. So anybody out there, if you think you have, you know, the 747 swing thought system down, or if you maybe drive a Miata, now's your chance. So submissions are due by March 24th. You got to send in a video and, you know, talk about maybe a little Mexican mini tour or something along those lines. So interested to see what he does with that in this era of content creating.
Yeah. I mean, he disappeared here for a while. Like I used to really enjoy his stuff.
Everybody did.
It's just hilarious stuff. You know, what the 3 Jack National was the golf
Brad
club
had one of those T-shirts.
Right?
Oh yeah.
In fact, our one and done league is called 4 Jack National this year.
It is
in honor of CPG. So that's cool. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what guys apply.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, with nowadays with all these content creators, there's got to be somebody decent that comes out of it and can be funny. But it's like if they're not looking for a replica, I wonder who it is. But interested to see how that pans out.
Very cool.
John Rahm versus DP World Tour extortion.
Yeah, I'm serious.
John, I mean, he's ahead of Live Hong Kong this week. He accused the DP World Tour of extorting players like himself. So the tour offered a peace deal to Live players, but Rahm rejected it. Why? They're asking him to play 6 events to stay eligible, but Rahm says the rules only require 4. So he told him lower it to 4 and I'll sign it tonight. So Ryder Cup at risk. 8 other guys, including Tyrrell Hatton, signed the deal, but because Rahm didn't, his 2027 Ryder Cup spot is officially in jeopardy. So he's standing his ground, if you will, and even if it's going to cost him a trip to Ireland. Thoughts on that, Aaron?
Yeah, I've been talking about this periodically for the last year and a half,
Mhm.
and the 4 events versus 6. You can negotiate that. Just pay your fines. Pay the fines, you cheap ass. You gain hundreds
So
of
are
millions.
you agreeing with Rory, Harry?
Is that what Rory says? Because
Well,
yeah,
Rory
I
called
am.
the
Yeah,
tours offer generous and told Rom to just pay the
just pay the
fines.
fines. You got hundreds of millions of dollars to go to live. And now you expect to just be able to play anywhere you want, whenever you want, and not have to pay any freight. That's not the way it works. If you want to
Wait.
play in the Ryder Cup, you got to pay your fees to be a part of the DP World Tour. And the DP World Tour should just let him to only have to play 4 instead of 6. They should give in there,
Meet in the
but
middle.
he's got to
Happy
pay the
medium.
fines. Exactly.
Yep. Well, when Rory
Yeah.
said pay your fines, his Rom's response was, "I'll gladly pay to play in the Ryder Cup, but I won't pay just to be a member of the tour."
Well, you know what?
So,
Then see ya.
bye.
Yeah. See you later.
Yeah.
No.
But speaking of let me see here, John Rahm's picture on the official Masters site is of him holding a putter after a swing. So it looks like it's, like an actual swing, but it's like a violent putter swing finish. And
Oh,
that's
so
what's
it's like a
currently
full golf swing with a putter.
with a putter. And
Oh,
that's
geez.
the image that they used on the Masters. So
Awesome.
yeah, pretty great.
Wow.
Yep. We talked a little bit about Shane Lowry, obviously with Steve, but he said, I only wanted it for her today. His daughter was there. He said he didn't care about anything else. So just a humanization and just, seeing again how these guys are. And
Is her name Iris, if I remember?
to be honest, I'm not sure.
I think it is. But yeah, I've seen her before. She's adorable. And that would have been a great moment. It wasn't.
Sure.
I feel bad for him, but I tell you what,
But our guy Nico, yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. You end up not talking about the guy who won the tournament because of the guy who lost and how he lost. But there was a guy who won, who played for some really good golf and made that unbelievable shot on 17 and then followed it up with the birdie putt. So I hate that that's sort of lost in the shuffle. But man, I got to give Lowry a lot of credit for showing up and doing his media and sort of, emoting and opening up. That's what people love. I mean, Shane Lowry gained more fans on Sunday night than he had going into before he hit the 16th tee in the final round. Shane Lowry has a lot more fans because of what he did. And I give him a massive amount of credit. Tommy Fleetwood was doing this, it's seemingly week after week when he'd finish second, maybe not a blow up like Shane had, but he would just not able to get it done. And he'd always show up and give media and talk to the fan base. And that's why it came down so hard on Rory when he chose not to do it at the U.S. Open. And he's done it before, and other guys have done it before, including Scotty Scheffler recently, too. Yeah. When he's not playing well, he sometimes goes off in a huff too. I don't like that. I don't like it for anybody, but major props to Shane Lowry for meeting the media afterwards. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So.
A class act guy. And Steve even said that too. He said for him to go in there, and it reminded me back to my broadcasting days, or even going back to Temple when, before it was even legit job, because, you almost are like brothers with these guys. You're rooting for them. And I remember when we got knocked out in March Madness, from against IU, and I had to go in the locker room and shove a microphone in these guys' face, asking them, because basically majority of them, their career's over. They're probably not going to play professionally, you know, maybe a few of them overseas, but like these guys you've got to know for so long. And now I have to go in there and, shove a microphone in their face and ask them these questions. And that's on a reporter or media end. Imagine being those guys, or i.e. Shane Lowry, after that just happened and in front of the whole world. So, it's a job, these guys, that the tour players, that they're under scrutiny all the time. I always say to somebody, like, imagine if somebody follows you around and has a scorecard of your day. All right. Danielle got her email right. Good. All right. Right. Okay. She did this, birdie. Oh, double bogey. And it's like for everybody in the world to see. And then you have to go ask, answer questions about your job. It's tough, but
everything's a scorecard,
It is.
It'd be like having your daily life on a scorecard. That would be something.
Yep, you're just under the microscope. But Brooksy, what do we
Yeah.
think about his performance so far coming back? You know, it seemed a couple, you know, had maybe some WD-40 or something to get the rust off in the first couple of starts, but first top 10 for Brooks back on tour, first round 74, but then shoot 66, 69, 65 back here in Palm Beach Garden. So building momentum here, or what are your thoughts? Is it because it's a weaker field? But, you know,
it wasn't the best of fields, and we'll talk about that too. But man, a top 10 and that final, you know, the final day, the scoring was terrific, and he changed putters. And I think that, you know, that obviously made a difference, but, you know, he's trying to get the rust off and get the game back for Augusta. So I think with what we saw this past weekend, he's now, you know, trending in that direction, regardless of the strength in the field. I mean, I watched him on Thursday and Friday on the PGA Tour live coverage, because he was a featured group, obviously, and even though he wasn't scoring great, he was really hitting the ball terrific ball striking. And then he got the putter change, I believe, for the second round, and things started to really improve on the green. So that was really good to see, man, because golf is better, when Brooksy's involved and playing good golf, especially
that was my next question,
major championships. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So overall, glad to see him back.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just cool to see him out there, with that swagger. He doesn't quite have it full on yet,
dialed. Yeah.
But
we're getting there.
He'll get there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I was over there with Brad on Wednesday, riding around the cart, doing some prep, everything else. And we took a few minutes to stop and talk to Brooks and kind of see his thoughts. So Brad could have some, little tidbits for the broadcast and everything else. But he looked like he was, getting acclimated, and, it's just a pro-am, but still, like, just good to see him back out there. And I think we're going to start seeing the trend continue. So like you said, the product's just better with him.
It really is. Now, as far as I don't know if you have any more tea, but
I got a little bit more.
Okay, let's get more tea, and then we'll get into the actual Cognizant and where it is on the calendar, because it's just a shame.
Perfect. Yeah, let's just share one more. Let's talk about Luke Donald with the three-peat. He will be a captain for Europe at the 2027 Ryder Cup.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a permanent gig. I mean, he's right? He's 2-0, one on foreign soil. So yeah, he's rolling. He just seems to be, made for the role. And
he's incredible. This guy's so meticulous. I interviewed him, went over to his house for this gig I was doing a couple years ago, and just walking into his office, seeing all the trophies, all of everything. And that's when his first Ryder Cup captain he was prepping for. And it was, I don't even know how many months, maybe even a year out or something along those lines. And he was already prepping, like, had coursework. Just, it's a job he takes serious. This guy is meticulous. He does his homework. He's
very detailed,
a true professional, very detail oriented, meticulous. Just, it's, I don't know. That's what the most anybody's ever been a captain, right? 3 times in a row.
I'm not sure. Maybe back in history there might have been some other guys, but I don't know if it's 3 consecutive. Maybe some guys did 1 or 2 and then took a couple of years off and then came back. I don't know, but
still cool.
It really is. Now, I don't know if he was the one who brought Dodo on board, Eduardo Molinari, but that guy also is a very unsung hero of the European Ryder Cup team. Apparently, he's the guy that puts all the data together. He's like sort of the stat data, analytics guy.
Yeah.
Like he's really a guy nobody really talks about. I watched him win the U.S. Amateur at Marion. There were no ropes. Where I was literally Eduardo Molinari.
Oh, yeah.
The brother. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And he's been behind the scenes, if you will, for Team Europe for these last 2 wins. I don't know if Luke Donald brought him on board or if he was already on board, but he's a guy that really needs to be highlighted too. Now, did you get to see any of the wine collection at Luke Donald's crib when you were over there? Because I've heard it's pretty extensive.
It is. The entire house is pretty extensive there.
Is that right?
I mean, it's like a museum. His office, I didn't even want to leave. I was flabbergasted there. His dogs, his wine collection, the house, and just his wife is stunning. His family's beautiful. I mean, it's just, what a guy.
Very cool. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. Now the Cognizant
That's what all
that you
about.
still affectionately refer to as the Honda. And I know a
It's
lot of
just
people, a
easier to
lot of other people
say,
do.
you know?
I know. I know. But I just think that golf course is so tough, especially when the wind blows. And
Especially
all the
going in the bear
water.
trap.
You know, they talk about the bear trap. They build the bear trap up all week. It's the story of the week. And this week it really came into play and bit
Mhm.
Shane Lowry twice and cost him the tournament. So,
Hit by the
you know,
bear.
all that kind of stuff sort of came to fruition, and it was great theater. It's great to watch. You feel bad for, Shane, but it's great television. But the fact that of where it sits on the calendar is why the field is obviously not the strongest. Okay.
Yeah, heading right into the Arnold Palmer. I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, these guys don't want to play 5-6 events in a row. And that's the thing. If a lot of these guys will play Waste Management in Phoenix, even if it's not an elevated event, right? And then the next 2 weeks, you got elevated events with Pebble Beach and Riviera. Then you have the Cognizant, followed by Arnold Palmer and the Players. So it's like it's sandwiched in between a couple of the biggest events.
And it's not a course that a lot of guys love either, like you said.
It's hard.
But I like it not only because it's in my backyard, but I think it's cool for us to see some of these other guys. Like we saw Austin Eckroat win. Like,
sure.
I'm drawing a blank right now on last year's winner, but just seeing some of these other guys.
Highsmith won it last year. The guy with the hat that I like.
Yep. It's just, I think it's cool for the other guy, let them take a week off. They don't like the course. Let some of the other names, have a little look, just like, the alternate Puerto Rico event this week. It's same thing, let's see all the golf. Give me all the golf I can get.
But it kind of stinks because, like you mentioned with Steve, so many of these guys live in the area, and I'm sure they'd love to be able to play in it if it didn't sit where it sits on the calendar. If there's a way that they can move this thing to another time of year.
You think it's that, or you think it is the course? Because a lot of the guys we were talking to were like, we just, when I was sitting there with Brad and we were rolling around, we were kind of like, he's like, a lot of guys just don't like this course, like Denny. Well, I know it's like his wife's baby shower, but Denny took off this week. Like, Berger was in the field, but there's so many locals here. Like Akshay was off. Like nobody wanted to play in it, and it's obviously you'd rather prep. I don't know if the grass is the same as Arnold, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's the course, if they need just a break, if it's just the one to take.
Well, they were
off.
bitching about that too, because they put rye overseed in the rough, and some guys are complaining that it's not as hard. And the guys that are used to Bermuda say it makes it easier for the guys who aren't good at with Bermuda rough because they overseed it. So Billy Horschel, I think, was waxing on about that. He wasn't alone. So, but I just like the tournament. I actually like the golf course to watch. I played it. It's very difficult. Every course is difficult for me, but it's like, I just really like the tournament and I love that area. And I just wish it had a better field, or if they could find another place for it on the count. Cause that golf course could be a major. They did hold a major there a long time ago. I think back in the 80s, I think they might've had a PGA there.
Yeah. Cause Brad and I were chatting and he goes, it just doesn't fully make sense to me. Cause all these guys that live here locally, like come out, play it a few times, like prep, it's in your backyard. And they just don't. So, probably combination course, that stretch of golf. It's like, well, when do you get a break? So,
right.
But yeah.
And then you got the Jake leading into it on Monday after Riviera. They fly the guys in from LA to play in the Jake tournament at the Bears Club. And then after Cognizant, you got the pro member at Seminole,
which had a stronger field than the Cognizant itself, which is silly. Yeah. Right. So those guys are coming in here anyway, but like playing in that is just, an honor in itself. So, but still, end of the day, incredible. Nico heading, finally Palm Beach Gardens resident, coming down here. His wife's going into closing on Monday, but he sat down ahead of closing and told his financial advisor and his wife, both of them, he's like, I think I might win, or, feeling good this week. He's like, I'm going to win this week. And Nico got it done, friend of the program, as Moose would say. So awesome. I know our text thread was, we're like, it would be great to see Shane, but we're like, we want Nico. So
that's
pretty
his third win now.
I mean, he's and he. If we take a look at his stats, I should have prepped him for this, but just the past year, I mean, he's been just rocking it in. Like, I don't know how many top 25s or where he's at, or where he's at in the world golf rankings, but the kid's a player. He's a stick, and he's trending. He's been trending, and we love to see it.
Yeah, he really is. And this is a President's Cup year, so he's going to be on that team. There's no doubt about
Masters.
that.
Mhm.
He will be at the Masters. Yeah. So, he, like you say, he's trending, and that was really good to see him
And
get
we're
the
here
win.
for it. Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Now, did you take in any of the TGL? Because they whittled it down to the playoffs. Out of the 6 teams, 4 make the playoffs. I believe New York and the Bay Area were the 2 teams that missed the playoffs. But there was some drama last night.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. The only TGL that I saw was a clip from Presley Akshay's wife that she reposted, and it was of him watching from home the Jupiter Lynx win it, and he was jumping around all crazy, excited that they were advancing, I guess. And then he FaceTimed in at the presser, and I guess they were asking Tiger kind of just about like where he's at, but I really didn't take in any of it at all.
Well, Tom Kim made an ace.
Oh,
Tom Kim threw the hammer. Jupiter was down 1 in the match, I believe, and Tom Kim throws the hammer, steps up, and hits an ace, and went absolutely batshit crazy, as you would imagine.
Oh, yeah. And we talked about, because wasn't there an ace like Neil Shipley, right? Like a couple weeks ago that we talked about. Does it count?
Yeah,
so that's
well,
like 2
Rosie,
aces.
Rosie made an eagle there too, or an eagle on a par 4 or something, and I think Shipley then made an ace.
Yeah, he dunked it. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Kisner had to make a putt too, I think, to lock down the win, and he made it. But man, I missed it because after like 2 holes I was bored, and they had Jason Kelsey on for 2 straight days.
Who you're just, I know.
I mean, really, do I need to see Jason Kelsey ever again in my life? No, I don't. Why is he on a golf broadcast? Like, seriously, why are they trying to shoehorn Jason Kelsey
But you know what, Harold? It's
golf
part
broadcast?
of it. I think they're trying to just rope in other people because they've had Serena Williams. They've had all types of random actors. It's like whoever is in the stands. It's like showing Taylor Swift on a Chiefs game. I don't care. I don't want to see Taylor Swift. Like, back to the football.
Yeah.
You know, it's the same thing at TGL. It's like, you know, let's just try to get everything that we can. There's a celeb, or they're pulling somebody in, you know, maybe, you know, Kelsey's just, he has that audience or whatever. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I've seen them pushing the celeb style endorsements at the majority of the events, at least on social too. They're all over there getting interviewed. So
I was Kelsey'd out years ago.
I know you were.
I mean, it's just, unbelievable. But anyway,
so your dream foursome is not Jason Kelsey, Rory McIlroy, Harry.
No, absolutely not. But we got elevated event, we got signature event, whatever you want to call it. What are they calling it these days?
It's a signature event week at Bay Hill, Harry.
The API at Bay Hill.
Purse.
Bay Hill Club and Lodge. I'm wearing the shirt. I got it last year, played it, had stayed there for 2 nights. What a place. It's like walking back in time going inside that clubhouse.
It really is.
It just feels like Arnold Palmer in like the early 70s or something. It's great. I hope it never changes.
Did you have lunch inside there?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, Bay Hill's a special place.
Really, really cool. We stayed in a house right off of the short game area, me and 3 buddies, and just had the greatest time. But it's designed back in '61 by Dick Wilson, and then Arnold did a renovation in 2009 of the Bay Hill Club and Lodge that sort of sits right in a neighborhood, right in Orlando. And par 72, 7,466 yards, so a pretty lengthy golf course. Big greens, 7,500 square feet. They're all Bermuda. The approaches, the fairways, and the rough have a rye overseed, and the rough will be at least 3 inches to start. And if they get any rain, that's going to grow as the week goes on. But the average fairway is 30 yards wide. That's sort of typical Arnold Palmer. He kind of makes it a little bit easier off the fairway, and that's a second shot golf course into greens that are going to play as rock hard as like a parking lot, especially by Saturday, Sunday. But I'm told that they're already rock hard, and it's sort of like a U.S. Open type of a setup that they try to mimic at the API. But 84 bunkers and 8 water hazards in play on 9 of the holes. So half of the golf course is impacted by water, including the entire closing stretch. 16 will start there. It's a reachable par 5, 511 yards with a large bunker on the right side of the dog leg right. And the water bisects at the approach to the green. It's a big green surrounded by 3 big bunkers. The 17th is a par 3. Remember that 16th last year, Russell Henley chipped in for an eagle to take the lead and eventually beat Colin Morikawa, who was stunned beyond belief when he saw that ball go in. Morikawa, I believe, made par on the hole. Henley made eagle and jumped him and ended up winning the tournament. And Morikawa kind of went into the abyss for a little while after that loss. The 17th is a par 3, 221 yards, a water carry to the large grass bank. Replace the old beach bunker that they had. I think they did that last year for last year's tournament, but there's a large undulating green and bunkers all around it. And the 18th, it's just a classic hole. Par 4, 458, straight away, narrow fairway. It gets narrow as you get up towards the water. And then the approach is over a water to a large boomerang-shaped green that arcs around left to right, framed by 3 traps behind it. And you can remember Tiger, making a big putts there for all the wins that he had when Arnold Palmer, carving one, a left to right shot up the fairway that just ran right to the green, right down to the hole. It's a classic finishing hole and just a really cool place. That 6th hole, it is hard. That
especially if the wind's blowing.
Oh my God. With the rough, the wind, and the rock hard greens, it plays really tough. But remember that 6th hole, which is all the par 5 around the big lake, and Bryson drove it, tried to drive it over to the green and actually put it up there. He's going like that. That was so cool.
He couldn't even hit driver practicing, warming up there because it wasn't long enough.
Right.
Yeah, on the range.
I know.
They're like, maybe angle that way. But yeah, I remember exactly what you're talking about. Over.
Absolutely. 590-yard par 5 around the lake. The 10th hole, Rory drives it over the dog leg. It's a dog leg right, 400 yards. And there's trees and houses to the right. And Rory just puts it right over the houses to the green. I played the hole. I'm like, I made bogey there and felt, pretty good about it. I'm like, Rory drove this thing. I'm like, oh yeah, gotta be kidding me.
The imagination that some of these guys have and the lines that they
and the power, unbelievable. But the 3rd, the 11th, and the 13th are really cool par 3 holes. And 11 isn't a par 3. I don't. No, 11 is not. 13 and 17 are the par 3s on the back. 11's a par 4, but it goes around the water and has a rock wall around the green.
I beef with that hole because they spray painted it green, the green all around it to look pretty on camera. I had these brand new shoes on. I'm walking a practice round and I come out. I'm like, why are my shoes green? I'm trying to wipe them off. Nope, they spray painted the grass everywhere, so it looks beautiful on the drones, the cameras, everything else. So I was asking Brad about that actually this past week. I'm like, do they spray paint a lot? Because now I think about that all the time. I'm like, oh, my shoes are ruined walking through the spray paint. Did you know that it's a TV trick? They spray paint the grass to look green.
It's just like they do in the NFL. They spray paint the field too. But
remember we were at Truist too, and we saw them all of a sudden just planting flowers in the one area just so they had an opening shot over the water to look like aesthetic. It's funny.
Those are actually all 3 of those are par 4s. I don't know what I'm thinking. 3, 11, and 13 are par 4s with water. The par 3s are 2, 7, 11. And 14 and 17. And they are tough, man. They play from 200 to 230 yards, those par 3s.
For par 3.
A really tough golf course and ball strikers paradise. Oh, yeah. Ball strikers paradise. So Scotty Scheffler will probably have a good week this week.
Well, Harry, the field, the top 50 are all here. Scotty, Rory, Xander, the headliners. We got an eye out on, the guy you took a selfie with, Tommy Fleetwood, currently world number 3, still looking for that first big U.S. win. So we have $20 million purse and $4 million going to the winner, but the alternative event. So $4 million to the winner at the API, $4 million purse. For the event in Puerto Rico. So Rio Grande. So the rest of the grinders are over there trying to get a couple FedEx Cup points and see what they can do over there.
Yeah. But,
and John Daly too is making his PGA Tour debut on a sponsor exemption.
Oh, is he really? Oh, that's cool. Well, that'll get some eyeballs on it.
Oh yeah. Let's see if he has a heater and some wild looking pants.
Yeah, some loudmouth gear and a couple of smokes and drinking Diet Cokes.
Yeah,
Like
Rasmus
his old
Hogard
man.
is yeah, seriously, that'd be incredible. But Rasmus Hogard is the favorite at over there in Puerto Rico.
Okay, he and his brother had a pretty good week at the Cognizant, along with what we talked about. Brooks, Ricky Castillo had a great week. They say it Castillo, but it looks like Castillo, the way it's spelled.
Because Phillies fan.
Yeah, but he played at the University of Florida, I believe. That Smotherman guy was on top of the leaderboard all week. Is he probably is he in the Puerto Rico event?
I
Taylor
would
Moore?
have to check. Taylor Moore was up there, yeah, because he was paired with Nico, yeah, in that final
And Joel
round.
Damon had another big week, and he's actually in the Arnold Palmer, I believe. So it's good to see him playing well.
Yeah, we got to get Joel on here. We heard he's fun. What Denny told us to get him on here, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe Denny could make the call for us.
Let's do it.
That would be nice. But to see the line for our friends over at Bet Parks, Matt Fitzpatrick plays well in this tournament. And it's kind of they try to mimic a U.S. Open setup. He's won a U.S. Open. I think he's going to show up this week. He's plus 2,200 to win. I like him in a top 10 at plus 175. Siwoo Kim is another guy who's been trending, but I'm going to stay away from him. I'm going to go with Chris Gotterup in a top 20. Chris Gotterup just played Augusta National with his dad. Took a look at Augusta, which he'll be playing again this year, but he took his dad, I believe, last week, and they had a ball. Plus 126 in a top 20, and first round leader, I'll take a shot at Gotterup at plus 4,500. Bobby Mack, Robert McIntyre, plus 112 for a top 20. And I'm going to take Colin Morikawa to get his revenge from last year. He's playing well. He's won at Pebble Beach. He got a top 10 at Riviera. He's got his game back in order, and he wants to win this tournament really badly. I'm going to take him in one and done. So those are the picks.
All right, Harry, giving us the juice, letting us know.
Yeah. Now, hopefully Moose will be back with us next week. Hopefully.
Yeah. We need him back. Nobody has that intro, that, ask the golf journey, everything else. So we hope he's good and he's feeling better.
Well, plus we have to recap our week down with you.
Down
and
here.
Brandon. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah.
I'm
still in Florida, by the way. I'm not heading back till next week.
Don't ever go back.
I don't want to go back. But my wife is making me go back. She needs me back home.
So are you going to be a snowbird or what?
That's the plan for at least a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Harry, it's important whether you're down here in Florida or whether, you're up there in Philly. Don't let those winter clouds be deceiving. The sun doesn't take a day off. So whether you're up there, down here, wherever you're at, on the range, heading to a game, just out for a walk, you still need professional grade protection. Wear SPF is dermatologist tested, sweat resistant, and designed by a guy who lives under the sun, Justin Thomas. So protect your skin this season and every season. Grab yours at wearspf.com. That's wearspf.com.
Yeah, and you're going to need it back in Philly this weekend. Our producer, Mike Powers, puts up in the chat that it's going to be 70 degrees on Saturday, Sunday this weekend. So
you guys will be wearing shorts and everything else. It's 70 here. I got a sweater on. I got a little cardigan and a hat. Yeah,
cardigan. Well, cardigan's good at the API.
Right?
That's what Arnold would wear. So
yeah.
All right, great stuff, Danielle. And again, thanks to Steve Marino. And hopefully Moose will be back with us next week. We can recap our week in Jupiter and take a look at the results of the Arnold Palmer and look ahead to the players, because the season is now getting really serious. Before long, it'll be the Masters. So great stuff. We'll see you next week.
Always good being with you, Har.